So the other day I was walking or watching a YouTuber by the name of Undoomed, and I found one of his videos, and it was pretty interesting. Basically, it was a thought experiment. Now, keep in mind, a thought experiment, or at least in my eyes, is basically just trying to figure out what exactly would happen if this event happened. So pretty much, if this specific cause happened, what will the effect be? Uh, and basically, what and this particular video uh, had two thought experiments in it, and I just want to talk about those two thought experiments. So, uh, the first thought experiment is with feminism, and as you guys probably know, I'm pretty against it. I'm what they call an anti-feminist, but believe me, uh, I do believe in equal rights, but just the third wave feminism is not the answer, if you ask me. Uh, and Undoomed has made a comparison for feminism, equating it to termites. Basically, the whole feminist name has been, it's like the house, and feminazis are the termites, and the feminazis have uh, taken over the house. So when's that point where you gotta just burn down the house, or just get rid of the feminist label and just let them have it? Uh, so the thought experiment that I want to talk about is the first one is feminism, as I mentioned before. Uh, Now, this one is if Hillary Clinton is elected as president, which honestly, I don't agree with Hillary Clinton at all. Uh, Honestly, I feel like if you vote for her, you're an idiot, but that's my personal opinion. And frankly, if you want to vote for Hillary, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to sue you. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm not going to like torture you and kill you. I'm not. I do believe in freedom of speech. I believe in just people being right and having the right to believe who believe in who they want, and and the same thing can be said about religion. Like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna like make fun of you for you know well, I might make fun of you for believing in religion, but I'm not gonna force my beliefs down your throat. So, anyway, back on topic. This one is if Hillary Clinton is elected as president, at what point do feminists say, we're done? Our job is done? Because if Hillary Clinton is elected as president, uh, and women are still considered oppressed by their logic, uh, because keep in mind, the president is essentially the highest power that can be obtained within the United States Constitution, uh, or at least to my knowledge. Uh, then again, I might just be talking out my ass, which, frankly, I guess you could say I have a reputation for it. But that aside, if women are able to get into the highest power in the United States, then at what point do uh, modern day feminists, just stop and say our job is done? Uh, and that's what I. If Hillary Clinton does win, which I doubt she will, because frankly, I feel like I'm using common sense and saying she won't, but I might be wrong. But if she does win, uh, I am curious as to how feminists will react to that. Because I know for certain that if Trump wins, that feminists are going to be crazy about that because, patriarchy, misogynist, sexist, whatever. Because, bullshit that doesn't exist, really. Because, like, well, really on a side note here, low key, they have watered down a lot of the definitions of things such as harassment, rape, uh, and things of that nature, sexism, uh, misandrous, misogynist. They've watered the definitions down, so pretty much all those terms mean you just disagree with a woman. And really, I just don't agree with that at all. But I but if Trump wins, I know for sure uh, that feminists will react, negatively towards that, saying that we still got a lot of work to do and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't. The wage gap is bullshit. And, the 1 of 5 college girls getting raped is completely just hysterical. So I might have to make a video to some people explaining that, or they can just look it up. I don't know. I might add that to my channel. But my point is, at what point uh, do feminists just say we're done if Hillary Clinton wins? And honestly, I'd like to see how that plays out if Hillary Clinton wins. Uh, and the second thought experiment that he, uh, just talked about is just generally how a lot of the U.S. or not the U.S. but a lot of the world is looking very similar to each other. Because if I had the money, I could go to a flight to London, and it would feel like home, based on what I hear. Same brands, same restaurants, same everything. The only major difference is you got to drive on the other side of the road. And so, what this thought experiment is that uh, basically, if you give every citizen a an inalienable right, which means it cannot be taken away under any circumstances. And that is, unless you're just in prison or something like that. And even then, I wonder if those inalienable rights still apply. But my point is, every citizen gets an inalienable right uh, to move by voting, or to vote by moving, essentially. So basically, the idea is that each country, you can have different country, Republican countries, uh, democratic country, totalitarian countries, dictatorship countries. And Undoomed even made a joke about corporate countries, and then following that up with, if McDonald's think they can, if McDonald's can think they can run a country, let them try. Uh, and honestly, I find that joke funny, by the way. I won't lie, I find it funny. It's very humorous to me. But, uh, and honestly, this whole idea to me is interesting, because I'd like to see how that plays out, because essentially it rules out the bad ways of governing the people. And I'd like to see uh, if this kind of idea would ever become in play. I mean, I'll tell you now that if it does, it's never going to happen in my lifetime. Probably not even in my son's lifetime. Maybe my grandkid's lifetime, if you stretch it. I don't know. And really, that's assuming I have one, because frankly, I don't even have a girl. But whatever. Uh, so uh, what I'm what I'm trying to say here is that if everyone has an inalienable right to vote by moving to their country, it'll eliminate the ones that people don't agree with, uh, and that'll, to me, be interesting, creating some countries that uh, won't exist, or not really that, but it will just lower. essentially how a country needs to run is just I just think it'd be an interesting idea. I can't quite describe it. Like that's the problem here. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And Undoomed, if you do see this, cool.